Another exciting project. I don't know about exciting. Things we had to change. When we got the boat, it really had a plywood, not approved at all, propane locker. So we want to have a decent propane locker. Going back to the original position where Bob Perry had designed it, kind of in the back of the cockpit by the lazarette. And so crew Art made a little splash mold. We made a composite box here, custom. We couldn't do anything off the shelf because it's just really tight to get this in. And what we're gonna have is we're gonna build, the bottom of this is Coosa, the top is Coosa, because it's the seats are cambered in the back. And so we're gonna have this in the top as a flange, and that fits right over here. And then we can bolt this from underneath up and in with a sealed gasket. It's going to have a proper drain in it. And then you can drop a tank in right in the middle. It'll just go. We have to, you'll see it's going to be, and then this slides over. We have 2 tanks. Cool thing is, we had one at Marine Tech. Somebody down at my marina just gave us another one, even has propane in it. So you'll be able to switch back and forth, have a regulator in there, have a proper propane system. So we're still building and fitting stuff before we can even add the new equipment in into the boat.
Oh, what do we have here? That's right, Instructor Wes from the high school and CTA. It's the season to get the hydroplane back out and go win some races.
This has been fun, sort of. So our plumbing class, all students have been assigned a overboard through hull penetration of some sort to replace, because on an old boat, everything that's up there is just sunbaked, 40 years old. And so these things all need to be replaced. So holding tank vents, water tank vents, fuel tank vents, all the vents, all the penetrations. There's also the deck drains that come down each side of the boat, go into these flush, what was a flush through hull. I guess a good one would look like this, where it's set down in flush. All the water on the side deck goes down and out the back of the boat. Well, the 2 that went out of the back of the boat broke like these, the whole thing. These came out in pieces. One of the reasons the deck is in pretty good shape on this boat is everything was sealed really well, lots of 5200. And of course, parts came out. The through hulls in the back for the bilge pump, we had, I got a tech tip coming. They were a booger to get out, lots of foot pressure. We actually had to cut a couple of the nuts off. There was a check valve on the exhaust system, which really was not appropriate the way it was set up. And it doesn't come out, but it was broken anyways. It did no good. Stuff was just, yeah. The deck pump out for the holding tank and the water tank fill, same thing. Lots of 5200, it was sealed well. The good thing is these are stainless steel. We can repurpose these. On the 1.5 inch stuff, everything's out of stock. I can't even buy new fittings. So we got all the smaller stuff in, resealed. We're putting this stuff in with UV resistant 4200. UV is key on any fitting above waterline here, where the sun gets at it. And it's not to do with the sealing, it's just because it helps prevent the black streaking. So that's a good thing. We also took out one of the below waterline through hulls, and what a chore. So this really wasn't below waterline, it was just above waterline. It was for the old propane overboard, which just wasn't working. We're redoing that. In the backer block, but you can really tell something about how a boat's put together by taking it apart. And these were replaced not too long ago with these new plastic, Marlon type through hull fittings. And so I took this one out with a student, an hour later. Holy crow, they were put in really well. They are solid, they're bolted into the hull. We got no issues. We're gonna lube up and keep these Marlon through hulls. Really nice stuff. So through hulls, that's what we do, replacing all this old stuff. look at that. We've got all the chain plates reinstalled. There's 6 of them, 2 big ones, main ones, and 4 others, but they have been built, polished, everything installed. After the painting this month, which you'll see coming up, we decided we had to start installing systems, fuel tanks. So we put some rubber neoprene underneath. This is where the main fuel tank goes, to make sure that we never have standing water underneath the tank so that it'll drain properly. Here comes the main tank. You can see there are 2 new inspection ports already in. There's actually 3, and it's clean. It's ready to go. It's been tested, no leaks. There's one last, there's a little bit of modification yet to be done on the square, the main part where the fuel fill goes, and some of the other plumbing. Right there's the square one up at the top. We wanted to have it set in place before we welded those fittings in, and because it's an inspection port, we can just unbolt it and take that back into the shop to do the welding. So nice clean bilge set up there. We're gonna have no water on that tank, and with the inspection ports and everything, it is gonna go another couple of decades. It's a great stainless steel fuel tank, so making it a really nice system.
My good friend Tammy came by today from Dorema, big supporters of our program. They represent lots and lots of products, and they know we're working on this boat and our shops. They like to keep us equipped, and so all sorts of stuff. We're about ready to put this fuel tank in. The auxiliary tank just needs paint. They got us brand new senders, so we can put that in. The main tank's back in. We've got one for it. We've got some BEP on-off switches for the start and the house battery with the voltage relay so that it'll charge both batteries. Super cool. We've got a double potable water pump system here with an accumulator. Looks like a nice package to go into King's Pride. We got a box down here. We got pallets. We've got tapes, putty knives, brushes. We've got rubbing compound for heavy oxidation. We need to buff around the windows before we put them in this month. And of course, we get it done, we'll rub it down with some wax. We're going to send the boat off with a bilge bucket for parts thing. And that is right here. Look at this. We've got a 4,000 gallon per hour emergency bilge pump. We've got a washdown pump kit with the hose and everything. So we'll put a saltwater washdown on the front deck for the anchor. So we're just excited. Big thank you to them. It's always great to get product and know that we can keep working on the boat and put in some high quality equipment for the new owner.